Welcome back, focused learners. Today, we've got a genuinely fascinating explainer lined up for you. We're going to take a microscope to the anatomy of a highly structured, absolutely massive internet marketing campaign. It's called the Genius Wave. If you've ever sat there wondering exactly how modern digital wellness products are built, from their wildest, grandest promises right down to their quietest little legal footnotes, well, you are exactly in the right place. Okay, let's dive into this by deconstructing the Genius Wave across its marketing, its scientific claims, and of course, its actual reality. To truly wrap our heads around this campaign, we're going to look at it from every conceivable angle, literally peeling back the layers to understand exactly what's being pitched to us and how it's actually substantiated. First up, the pitch. Second, the product itself. Third, the science. And finally, number 4, the fine print. Part 1. The pitch. The hook. Let's start with the very first phase of our deconstruction. We're focusing on those bold, totally attention-grabbing claims designed to hook you instantly. Check out this specific, highly emotional copy right at the top of the campaign. Wait, in just 1 minute and 49 seconds, I'll reveal my 7-second brain trick that gives you genius IQ. I mean, wow, right? This is an absolute masterclass in high-urgency marketing. It's literally telling you that your entire life can change in just a few seconds. It goes on to promise that this quick trick at home requires absolutely no equipment, and that it rapidly restores your, quote, God-given brain power. The whole goal here is to make the solution sound incredibly profound, yet completely effortless. Now, watch how the source strategically builds instant credibility. It doesn't just throw out bold promises and leave them hanging. No, it links this 7-second brain trick to historical genius, specifically Thomas Edison, and authoritative space agency personnel by citing a, quote, NASA scientist. By tying an unseen digital product to the legacy of one of history's greatest inventors and the prestige of NASA, well, the campaign builds massive immediate intrigue before you even have a clue what the product actually is. Which brings us to part 2. The product, the deliverables. Pivoting away from that grandiose pitch for a second, let's clarify what the consumer actually receives in logistical reality. The commercial cost of this product is $39. The website really hammers home that this is a special discount available today just for $39. And to erase any buyer hesitation, they explicitly note that it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, instant access, and quick start bonuses. It's a textbook structure, really. You lower the perceived risk with a solid guarantee, and you raise the perceived value with bonuses and instant discounts. And this brilliantly illustrates the fascinating contrast at the very heart of this campaign. On one hand, you've got these massive claims, right? A tool that activates your superbrain and restores your genius IQ. But on the other hand, you have the literal deliverable. The site clearly states in a bold note, the Genius Wave is a digital audio track made available for you to download immediately. They are super explicit about it, saying nothing will be shipped to you, so it's an entirely digital format.
Part 3. The science, the citations.
So you're probably wondering, how on earth does a digital audio file activate a superbrain? So the crucial point is a concept called entrainment. The sales page actually provides a huge list of real academic scientific citations. And this concept of entrainment is the bridge they use to connect a simple audio file to the physical manipulation of your brain rhythms. According to the cited papers like Haino and colleagues from 2020, entrainment is the synchronization of brain oscillations to auditory stimulations. Similarly, a 2014 study by Trost and colleagues explores how musical rhythms actually entrain brain activity. So the campaign uses these studies to suggest that their precisely engineered audio tracks can physically sync up with your brainwaves to alter your cognitive state. Now, the bibliography they provide is incredibly dense, but we can actually categorize these scientific references into 3 digestible thematic buckets for you. First, the website cites articles about reversing childhood creativity loss, basically highlighting how much creative power we naturally lose as we get older. Second, they cite highly technical EEG studies focusing on theta oscillations in memory. And third, just like we talked about, they heavily cite literature on auditory stimulation and rhythmic entrainment. So they're weaving this narrative. You've lost your childhood creativity, but through auditory entrainment, you can stimulate the exact brainwaves, those theta waves, needed to get it all back. To really ground this, the sales page leans on some incredibly technical neurological studies. For instance, they cite Crevelia-Decker's work on how theta oscillations promote temporal sequence learning. They even throw in a 2017 paper by G.R. Poe titled Sleep is for Forgetting from the Journal of Neuroscience. The big takeaway here is how the marketing campaign takes genuine, highly complex academic papers about memory, learning, and brain rhythms and theoretically uses them to back up a $39 brain trick. Part 4. The fine print, the disclaimers. All right, let's shift gears into our final phase and examine the sobering legal and medical caveats located all the way at the very bottom of the page, way after the pitch has already been made. Let's move to and see how this builds a strong legal fortress around the whole campaign. We're going to systematically walk through the three main layers of disclaimers that ground this in legal reality. Step one is your standard medical disclaimer, clarifying that the audio track is absolutely not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Step two is a really interesting privacy measure regarding the creator. And step three outlines the financial reality for affiliates. Let's take a closer look at that second step because it's a fascinating detail. The website specifically states, James Rivers is a pen name used with the consent of our leading neuroscientist who wishes to maintain personal privacy for himself and his family. I mean, that's remarkably specific. The persona pitching you this 7-second brain trick doesn't actually exist under that name. The site claims the qualifications are 100% genuine and verified, but the creator's identity is intentionally obscured. It's just a really striking contrast to the highly personal, direct-to-camera feel of all the marketing copy above it. Finally, let's look at the financial engine running behind the scenes here. The bottom of the website explicitly notes that Digistore24 is the reseller for Binaural Technologies, LLC. It also includes an earnings notice for affiliates, the people who actually make money by promoting and driving traffic to this page. It reads, these earnings are not representative for the average participants. The average participant will earn significantly less or no money at all through this product or service. That objectively points out the financial warning and the reality of the affiliate reseller model. So, what does this all mean? And what should you take away from this explainer today? Well, we've seen a campaign that boldly promises God-given genius IQ in just 7 seconds. We've seen that product revealed in logistical reality as a simple downloadable audio file. We've explored the very real, very dense neuroscientific literature on brain entrainment used to theoretically back it up. And we've read the sobering legal disclaimers about pen names and medical realities. So the big question is, how do we weigh these grandiose, genius IQ promises against dense scientific citations and those sobering legal disclaimers? It really forces us to critically reflect on the mechanics of modern digital wellness marketing and where inspiration ends and commercial reality begins. Keep that in mind the absolute next time you see a 7-second trick scrolling across your feed. Thanks for learning with me today, and as always, stay focused.